4 years ago, I thought these words would never come out of my mouth, but here we are. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melody and I'm starting over in my 30s. So much has been happening behind the scenes and I am ready to bring you guys up to speed. Because long story short, life has been kicking my butt, but in a good way, which I don't even know if that makes sense. So let me just go ahead and explain. So let's just start at the top. First update, I officially have found a new bookkeeper. And this might not seem like a big deal to you, but let me explain. So I had the same bookkeeper for like 2.5, 3 years, and it was just starting to feel like it was time, but I had no idea how to go about finding a new bookkeeper, especially knowing that I would want a bookkeeper that is a firm believer in the Lord. And so only in a way that God could have orchestrated it, I started serving at my church, which has been on my to-do list for 2.5 years. And I finally started serving 2 months ago. And the girl that I shadowed on my first day just so happens to be a licensed CPA with her own firm that does accounting and bookkeeping. And what's funny is as we got to talking, I asked what she did, and then she shared about her accounting firm and all of that. And she was saying how she normally doesn't even bring it up at church. And I was like, this is just the Lord, because I've been looking for someone. But also during this onboarding process, she has been giving me so many gems to consider and so many things that are now on my horizon to start working towards and thinking about when it comes to my business. And what's interesting is one of the things that she had mentioned is something that a friend who started at a new job also mentioned to me. And you know, when you hear the same thing from two different people, it really like perks your ears up. And they both were telling me about having an FSA and the FSA store. So I want to go ahead and pause here and thank the FSA store for partnering with me on today's video. I am so excited to kind of break down what they do, because I feel like this is something that we don't know we should take advantage of. Like, these are those gems that I think are really important for us to tell each other about, because there's resources out there, and if we don't know about them, then we are not going to utilize them. So let me tell you what I've learned, but also share what they were telling me about it too. So first things first, what is an FSA? Basically, it is an account that your employer can provide you with, yay, and then you get to decide how much money that you want to put into it, up to a limit set by your employer. And so what is the benefit of putting money into this FSA account? I'm so glad you asked, because I had that same question, and I'm gonna break it down the way that my friend did. So you have this FSA account, okay? And then you get to put pre-tax dollars into this account. And once this money is in this account, you can then use it on doctor visits or prescriptions or wellness items. When I say wellness items, I literally mean things that you know you're going to need to buy throughout the year, like allergy medication or pain relief medication. So basically, you're paying for medical health and your wellness needs with pre-tax dollars. Now I'm gonna break this down just a little bit further. So normally you earn money, the government takes its portion out of it, taxes, and then you get to spend the rest. However, with an FSA account, what happens is you earn money, you then put some of this money that you earned into your FSA account, and then from the remainder, the government then takes taxes out. And so you get to spend pre-tax, meaning untaxed dollars on items that you already need, wellness, medical things, prescriptions. And that right there is the beauty of it, and why I am convinced we all need FSA accounts. You are never taxed on FSA money. And then my friend told me, because at this point in our conversation, I was truly sad. I was like, okay, girl, I'm fully convinced. She told me that there is an online store, naturally, called FSAstore.com, where you can use your FSA funds on items that are 100% eligible. So if you are ever wondering, does this item qualify as something that I can use my FSA funds on? When you go to FSAstore.com, you are guaranteed that every single product you see on this website is eligible. And so it takes out all of the guesswork and any confusion that you might have. And naturally, I was very intrigued. So I had to go check it out. And this is what got sent to me. First up, one of the best sunscreens I've ever used in my life, Supergoop's Unseen Sunscreen. If you don't know, now you know. Next up is a wooden foot massager. Have you ever used one of these? I love it. It's super lightweight, so it moves around the house with me. And as you can tell by my face, I'm a fan. And lastly, guys, I'm so excited about this one. This is a lumbar and neck revolving pulse heat therapy cushion. So basically, it feels like I have a massaging chair at home. I also love that it has a heated feature. And so as I'm getting a massage, it also is warming up my muscles, literally. I absolutely love that they have such a wide variety of items that you get to choose from and how everything is categorized. So you really can just go on there and browse also if you don't know exactly what you need. But then if you do know exactly what you need, it is very easy to find it. And when I say the FSA store has literally everything, I mean it, sis. They have things from wearable tech like an Oura ring, which I literally have my Oura ring on, always have it on, to vibration plates. They also have medicine for the little. So if you are a parent, this is a great use of those FSA funds. They also have sunscreen and of course, these everyday things that we need like pain relievers, allergy medication, etc., etc. I just feel like it's a one-stop shop. And in my life where I can make something simple and just like a little bit less complicated, sign me up. That is the direction that I want to move in. And so that kind of wraps up this first little life update. There might have been 2 in 1. And now I'm actually very excited, a little bit nervous to share this with you. But the next update I have for you is that I am thinking about getting a job. When I say a job, I mean a job outside of social media. I have honestly been craving something a little less visible, a little more offline, as well as something that just has a little bit more structure. Because if it's one thing that this past season has taught me, it's that I need structure. I really do. And creating structure for yourself is one thing, but having some predetermined structure to work with is a completely different thing. Now, this isn't to say that I would stop making content, but honestly, when I was talking to my friend, I'm just going to say her name because I keep mentioning her, the one that told me about the FSA store. Her name is Candace. Shout out to my girl. But when I was talking to her about starting the new job and her new routine and her coworkers, it just really started feeling like maybe this is the change of pace that I am needing. Not forever, but for now. At this point, I have officially started to revamp my resume, which feels both very exciting and nerve-wracking all at the same time because I literally have not looked at that thing for the last 4 years since I left corporate America. So that has been a journey in and of itself. But now just having more insight onto benefits and FSAs and FSA accounts, I know that this is something that I'm going to be keeping at the forefront of my mind when I am out here searching and looking and considering benefits. I want to make sure that I have an FSA account so that I can utilize the FSA store. So if you are starting a new job, and especially in this economy, let me just go ahead and say congratulations, sis, first and foremost. And secondly, if you have questions about whether or not to enroll, how much to contribute, how to spend those beautiful pre-tax dollars, the FSA store can help. And what's actually really good to know as well, which I found this to be a very interesting fun fact, is the FSA store isn't just where you can go to spend your FSA funds, but you also can do telehealth services through the FSA store website too. Services that can support weight loss, different men and women specific issues, sleep, and even mental health. You can visit fsastore.com/MelodyAlisa, or you can scan the QR code right here to start shopping. And thank you once again to FSA Store, where everything is eligible for Partner With Me on today's video. All right, friends, that is it for me. That is a little update on what has been going on behind the scenes, where my head is at, what I'm thinking, what I am seeing and considering for the future. And I'm just so excited that I get to go on this journey with you guys. If you have any input, advice for me, especially diving into this job market, let me know. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but if I do go down this path, I am just open to whatever the Lord has for me. I don't see myself stopping making content. Like, I will always post the content, but I don't know. I just feel like in this season, this might be just what I need. So we'll see where the Lord leads. Thank you guys so much for just being on this journey with me. And thank you once again to the FSA store for partnering with me on today's video. And again, you can go to fsastore.com/MelodyAlisa to start shopping. And now, of course, it is your turn. So in the comments below, I would love to know, in what area of your life is God doing something new? I feel like the Lord is always doing something new, but let us know the specific area where you really feel like the Lord is moving or pushing you in a new direction. and let us encourage you on that journey. So drop your response down below, and then definitely take a second and scroll on through. And as always, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.